What is going on, y'all? So, Psych Perspectives, GeoFucks. And again, these are topics that we talk about all the time on Twitter, in our group chats, on Discord, in the Twitter spaces, on Clubhouse, with our own friends and family. So there's this conversation around, if you date somebody that's blue collar versus white collar, and in particular dating men who are blue collar or white collar, is there a difference? Is there similarities, pros and cons, neutral zones? Disclaimer, I'm gay, I'm queer, I'm pansexual, right? So I do talk to, mingle with men, right? And I'm just gonna go on and say this, whether it's a trans man or a cis man, intersex man, it's a trans masculine person, it's a masculine person. It really doesn't matter if they're white collar or blue collar. If they're operating out of toxicity, you're gonna have the same issues. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. If you're dealing with a guy, he can be college educated, he can have all the degrees in the world, certifications, continued education credits, certified, degreed all the way up, right? He could be making well over 6 figures a year. He can have on a suit and tie, business professional, business casual. None of that matters if he's not emotionally available. Okay? None of that matters if he's going to be narcissistic, self-centered, and only think about himself and his needs. None of that matters if he's operating out of toxic masculinity. None of that matters. And a lot of y'all are finding out the hard way that just because he has a college education, he has a leadership position, he makes 6 figures or more, what have you, none of that matters if he's an asshole. And a lot of y'all are finding that out the hard way. And it's the same situation with the blue collar man. Right? It really doesn't matter if he doesn't have a college education, he has a high school diploma, a GED, or he's a skilled tradesman, he has a union, he's a plumber, a mechanic, electrician, HVAC, he could be blue collar and own his own business as well. Let's keep that in mind. He can have all of that and still be an asshole. So that's what I mean by a lot of this outside stuff that we're always trying to gloat on. Yes, it plays a role. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, but ultimately, like she said on Twitter, never underestimate a man's ability to make you look like a fool. And that is the very truth, okay? Again, it's one of the many reasons why I never post who I'm talking to. Because again, I'm not about to be looking stupid, okay? I'm not about to be sitting up here praising somebody and, I'm so in love, and we do this, and we do that, and this my boo, and this my bae, and blah, blah, blah. And then behind the scene, this man is cheating on you. Everybody know it but you. This man got 2-3 kids from other women that you don't know about, other people that you don't know about, right? Never underestimate a man's ability to embarrass you and make you look like a fool. It doesn't matter what his education is, what his income level is, what type of career job he has. None of that matters in the long scheme of things. Because in the long scheme of things, toxic is toxic. Dysfunction is dysfunction. And a lot of men, a lot of masculine people, like I said, doesn't matter if you're trans, cis, intersex, trans-masculine, masculine, non-binary, gender fluid, gender queer, a lot of men and masculine people unfortunately operate out of toxic masculinity at the end of the day. This notion that I don't have to care about other people and everything is only about me and what I need. This notion that I can manipulate and use people. You know, I can take advantage of you and your situation to get what I want. You know, very selfish, stingy, no emotional intelligence at all, not willing to compromise, not willing to communicate their needs and wants and how they're feeling, not willing to actively listen to their partner or partner's wants, needs, and feelings. Doesn't really matter what education level, what income level, what type of career, white collar, blue collar, no collar. If he ain't shit, he ain't shit. And that's just all I wanted to really put out there, because I see this conversation all the time. Like, it really doesn't matter. In my experience, my personal experience, I've dealt with dudes that are college educated, such as myself, right? Like, we all went to school together. We graduated from the same universities. We're in the same alumni networks. You know, I done talked to, listen, okay? And guess what? If he's not emotionally available, he's operating out of toxic masculinity, you're gonna be dealing with the same man, okay? Just like I've talked and dealt with blue collar men, right? Didn't go to college and or, you know, got a trade. They got a skilled trade, which is fine, right? Like, that's great. We need that. And guess what? If he's still on the same BS, it really doesn't matter. You're gonna be dealing with the same dude. And then I've also dealt with blue collar men who treated me way better than the so-called white collar man. So, and vice versa, you know what I mean? And the same, you see? So it just really doesn't, again, a lot of this is superficial shit. I'm gonna just keep it real. All of what you see, a lot of what you see is superficial. You know, like I have like on paper, we sound good. That's basically what a lot of this is boiling down to. On paper, they sound amazing, right? So like, for example, you know, me being transparent, I look at myself. On paper, I sound pretty damn good, right? So 2 associate's degrees, bachelor's degree, master's degree, full-time job, business owner, entrepreneur, you know, numerous certifications, working in the financial housing industry, business casual, business professional. But I have a lot of trauma that you don't know about, right? I have commitment issues that you don't know about. I'm still working on my emotional intelligence that you don't know about. And that's why I be saying we can look good on paper all day. Same thing with these apps. Yes, of course, ain't nobody gonna tell you about the problems that's coming with them. And a lot of these dudes, let's just keep it a buck, they're manipulative. They know that their behavior is not appreciative and ain't nobody finna put up with that shit. And they purposely go into these situations not telling you who they really are until you find out who they really are. Then you're too emotionally invested and or you done been played, hurt, and dragged through the mud. So all I'm gonna say again, really doesn't matter what type of education this man has, what type of career this man has, what type of income this man has. It's really about personality. What is, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you gotta date, you know, somebody that ain't doing nothing and just sitting around looking for you to be the meal ticket. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, don't get caught up on degrees, certifications, white collar, you know what I mean? Like, don't get caught up on that, because you might mess around and run into the same Tyrone that you gonna run in other places. Just because he got a white collar and he driving a BMW or something, it really doesn't matter in the long scheme of things. I mean, I'm trying to tell you, it don't matter, okay? At least put it like this, I statements. At least in my experience, None of that shit mattered. I still got played.